Good morning, everyone. The weather is weird today. It's like a misty rain type situation, but it's like heavy misty rain. But anyway, Nala's in day 4 of her heat. Keena's still chasing around, sniffing her. The girls. She's sleeping a lot more and just resting. More frequent urination the past few days. Her attitude has been quite fine. She's still quite playful and stuff. Eating and drinking fine. Just cleaning her area a nice bit, and like I said, Keena's still chasing her around, sniffing her area. Still haven't noticed him trying to mount her yet. She's still bleeding, and this can happen up to approximately 9 days of a dog's heat cycle. Bleeding occurs. Now, dogs can potentially get pregnant during this phase if Keena does mount her during that phase, but it's more likely in the next portion of her cycle that she will get pregnant. But a heat cycle is in 4 parts, and I'll put up here the 4 parts of a heat cycle. And I'll put up on the screen for you the part that she is in now and what the next phase will be. But that's what she does. She sits. Oh, that's the first time now that she's done that towards him now since starting her heat cycle. Pretty much like, back off. I'm after telling you to back off the past few days and you still haven't. I'm not ready for this just yet. So he's spaced out a little bit and he's back to just sniffing her area. So he must get a little too close for comfort for her. Cleaning your area, baby girl. He's like, I gotta give her space because I got a little too close for comfort earlier and upset her. And you don't want to upset your wife. Touch her. Now, Dodger is one of Nala's male puppies, if you missed those videos. He is just a little over 5 months old, and he has not just yet reached sexual maturity, so he's not really showing any interest towards Nala at all. Doesn't even care. He's just like, that's my mom. Now, at 6 months of age, he can get neutered, and we do plan to get him neutered because I understand that some people, some cultures are okay with inbreeding, but we do not here condone it. We just simply are not for it, and that's a personal decision of ours. If you do it, that's your decision, but our decision is not to do it, not to do that, sorry. And Dodger will be neutered. Layla needs to get spayed. She was supposed to be done. Again, I feel so bad. Poor Layla's spade keeps getting put off. That's Layla there. Claire and Ariel are done and spayed, but Miss Layla. But we had something come up, and I want both me and my husband to be available for when any of the dogs get neutered or spayed, just in case there's ever an emergency. We are both available. So she's moved to November now, and hopefully that will be the last time she gets moved and bumped to a new date. But she already went into a heat cycle, and out of the 3 girls, she was the only one that went into a heat cycle because her last date, when it did get moved, the vet had to move it due to the surgeon. The surgeon had an emergency medical thing happen where they ended up hurting their back, so her date ended up getting changed. And then because of that, sadly, not sadly, but something we didn't want to happen, but it ended up happening, she went into heat. We were just extra cautious and protective towards that because we had Kenai at the time. Hey Kenai, who's her daddy? So she just, during that time, stayed in the bedroom with me and my husband, outside, very closely monitored her and Kenai. But even when she did go in heat, Kenai didn't show her any interest. Never went towards Layla at all, nothing. But she's out of that now, so she shouldn't expect another heat for a nice while. So we got a nice little window to get her spayed, but we'd like to get her done soon. And hopefully November, that date works for both me and my husband now that we can get her spayed. So she's next, and she will be done. And then after that, Dodger will be neutered. Hopefully we can get both of them done before Christmas so they can enjoy Christmas with none of them in a cone. But we will see. Girls, you're playing way too rough. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey. Now this more rough playing, when they first started doing this, when they were younger and all the dogs were at it, we brought it up to the vet. The vet said that's completely normal, not to go worrying. That is just how bigger dogs play versus smaller dogs. Bigger dogs are a little bit more rambunctious, but I still like to keep an eye on it. I don't want them getting too rowdy and too crazy, even though the vet said like that's just how they play. Because before we had these 6 dogs, our little pack here, and we still have Jersey. He's our small Shih Tzu mix. He'll be 11 next month, but he's really sick now. A lot of the time he just sleeps, and he wears Pampers and stuff now because he can't hold his bladder at all, or he can't control his stool movement either. So we just have Pampers on him, so if he really got to do it, he can do it indoors and just do it in his Pampers, and then I'll just change them out when and if he does that. He's also vomiting a lot more too, so he's under like big time watch and care, hence why you don't really see him out too much. And when he is out, he's more wants to be out in the morning and then wants to be out late at night, and I don't want to be really filming because I'm steady just watching him constantly, keeping an eye. Oh, they see something. But that's why you don't see much of him in the videos with the other dogs, because I'm keeping a very, very close eye on him. Hi. But no, I just don't want to have the camera in his face because I just want to be monitoring him. Oh, they see something. Here. You don't need to do that. Everything's okay. I'm right here. Here. You're okay. Yeah, you're okay. Okay, okay. Relax. Relax. But he is now getting an odor as well of some internal stuff possibly shutting down too. So we've been back and forth discussing it with the vet and just talking to them. And look how rough. But the vet said, like, that's just how they play. And he said when you see them grabbing and stuff, it's an excess amount of skin that they grab a hold of and they're not biting hard. It might look it to me, but they don't really feel it. They just play. But they just grab that every now and then and just like jump and stuff on each other. Huh. Oh my. But no, heat cycles last 2 to 4 weeks, depending on the size of the dog, the age of the dog, a bunch of different factors. What type of breed the dog is. And the thing is too with heat cycles, it's just like when a person has their time of the month. It's not always the same. It's not always every month for some women. Alright, we're back outside again here now. It's just after 12 noon. And Nala's still planting her bum when Kenai approaches. Like, leave me alone. The girls are there wrestling and playing. Dodger's over eating leaves, minding his own business. Now, don't get too... Oh, careful. Ariel, you walked right into Miss Nala. Now, when it comes to our dogs and Nala being in heat, we just pretty much let her take control in the reins. Whenever she's ready, she'll be ready. It's typically after approximately 9 days that she will accept Kenai. Now, Claire and Ariel. Be good girls, or you will go to your room. Be good. And right now she's on day 4. And he's just following her around, sniffing, and she's just licking. This morning, as you seen earlier, he did get a little too close for comfort and she wasn't ready for that. So he backed off, and he's been backing off ever since. Giving her space and just sniffing her area every now and then. Dodger on the bench. And Ariel and Claire have been kind of moody here today, which is okay. They're allowed to have different moods. But I'm just keeping an eye on him, so it doesn't get... I'm just keeping an eye on him so it doesn't cross that line where it becomes more than just, get away from me, you're annoying me, sissy. Now, I never had an incident where they would fight to the point they'd hurt each other. Usually there's just a lot of excessive barking and pawing at each other. And just little bits of yapping at each other, but not biting into each other. But that's it. They're siblings. They're gonna have disagreements, especially where all their personalities are so different. And they love pruning the trees. Nala. I get some of her clothes and Pampers out on the line. And if you see that the holes where the tail goes through is kind of cut up, that's because the elastic in it was quite tight on her little tail and I didn't like it, so I just made the holes around her tail a little bigger by cutting the elastic. Hi, what's she doing? But no, in terms of heat, they're never forced. I seen a YouTube video, and to each their own, but I seen a YouTube video where they had the female tied onto a chain and pretty much like forcing her to accept the male dog. And like I said, different cultures, to each their own, but that's just not how we do it. Whenever Nala is ready, Nala will be ready. The less stress on her, the better. Hey, Kenai. Is she not ready for you? That's it. It is what it is. Yeah. Girl's playing. It's starting to drizzle again. Oh no. I was hoping this rain would stop, or this misty rain. Because I got clothes out on the line now. Layla's like, you can't see me. Claire's like, yes I can, and I'm gonna get ya. Claire has her brute strength, where she's so much bigger than the other two. She's a powerhouse, but Layla definitely has the agility over Claire. She's extremely quick too. Layla can run. Out of all of our dogs, Layla's definitely the quickest. Kenai, be good, honey. You're okay. You're okay, Kenai. Dodger's like, what's wrong with my daddy? He's like, what's wrong, Daddy? He's like, will you stop crying, Dad? You want to play with me? You want someone to play with? Is that why you're crying? I'll play with you. Out of all of our dogs, he's definitely the most like happy-go-lucky. And it always looks like he's smiling. He's such a joyful puppy. But he just always seems like he's in a good mood and always full of energy. Nala's sitting down like, not yet. She's like, leave me alone. I'm not ready. collarbone. I see it, yeah. Her tail going. Yes, before she goes into heat, she's quite moody and stuff, but I'm so glad when she's in heat, she's not. She's just so happy-go-lucky, and I got Ryan's slippers on. Alright everyone, we're just inside here now, and I just had to make sure that Dodger didn't have a concussion after he just hit that planter. As you've seen, he gave it a good thud. I don't know how he managed that, but he literally went directly into it. He's just so clumsy. But anyone who ever has causes of concern about their puppy possibly being concussed, or they hit their head and you want to check them for it, the things you need to look for is to see if they have a nose bleed or if there's bleeding in the ears, which he does not have. You also want to check the pupil sizes of their left and right eye to see if one is bigger than the other, which he does not have. If there's any, if he's either a bit lethargic, and he is not that either. He just gave himself a good fright, I think. He's okay, sissy. All the girls were quite concerned about him too after it happened. But no, right after that happened, I was like, yep, done filming, gotta come in, make sure he's okay, take care of him. And he's doing good. He's disoriented and he's not stumbling around or anything like that. No, you gotta stay awake right now, buddy. Stay awake. Okay? Can't go to sleep right now. All right? You gotta stay awake. I also want to make sure he just stays awake for a little bit, especially after it happened. His mommy's here now with him, Miss Nala. She's here comforting him as well. But yes, something you definitely don't want to, something you want to make sure your puppy or your dog doesn't do, and that's fall asleep, especially after a suspected concussion. After checking a few different things for a concussion, I strongly don't believe he has one. So that's good. That's really, really good. But he definitely gave it a good smack. You can even hear him, like the thud, the noise of his head hitting off of the planter. But we plan on getting rid of that planter anyway. That will be another spring project. And he's all full of mud. Look at the mud. He's going to need a bath tonight. Yes, because you're full of mud for playing outside, little boy. Oh, that's good with Dodger, though. That's good. You're okay. You're okay. We checked. You're okay. Here's Nala when she's inside. She just likes to rest on the couch. Hey, girlie. Or in her room in her bed. That's what she's been doing a lot of when in heat. Hey, baby girl. You're just resting. She got one of her reusable Pampers on. Yeah, you're just resting. Huh? You're just resting. Oh, beautiful. I know. Have a nap, my beautiful.